Some friendships just don't feel good. They feel like home. Not because they're perfect, not because they're convenient, but because something in you settles when you're around them. Your shoulders drop, your guard softens, and your spirit exhales. And today we're talking about the friendships that feel like home, the friendships that hold you, ground you, and remind you who you are. There are friends you hang out with, then there are friends who feel like home. Home friends don't need a performance. They don't need the I'm fine version of you. They don't need the curated version of your life. They know your laugh, they know your silence. They know when something's off before you say a word. These people are the people who see you. Not the version of you the world gets, but the version you only show when you feel safe. That's what home feels like. And then there's a kind of safety that comes with being known, not exposed, but known. The kind of friend who remembers your triggers, who celebrates your growth, who holds space for your healing, who doesn't weaponize your vulnerability. A friend that feels like home is where you don't have to shrink to fit. You don't have to pretend. You don't ever have to earn your place. You just exist. And that's enough. I can tell you right now, I have had many friendships in my life. Many. But every friendship, I feel like I had to be a different version of myself. Well, not the friendship I got now with my best friend. Because when I tell you, we we have an understanding. Me and her get along like sister and brother. We when people when people see us, I be like, y'all don't know we good friends, because there's a way that you have it that you talk with your regular friends, and then there's a way you talk with your best friend. And sometimes you be talking to your best friend, and people be acting like, "Oh, do y'all hate each other the way y'all talk to?" No, that's just how we get along. But I have had many friendships in my life, and when I tell you that my best friend and the other friendships I have had is not comparable. In those friendships, I had to feel like I feel like I had to be a different version of myself. I couldn't be me. I couldn't be the Christian that I am. I couldn't be Christian. I had to be a different version of Christian. I had to be this version of Christian, that version of Christian. But in my friendship with my best friend, I could just be myself. Like, Chad, did you hear what they said? Let me tell you what they said. I could be the version of myself that's just me. I don't have to put on no act, I don't have to put on brave face or anything. I could just be me. And it's like when you have a friendship, we have a friendship. Some you want those friends to evolve with you, and I felt like in my other friendships, I was evolving when they was not evolving to different places. I was I was growing, they weren't growing. But my best friend with me in our friendship, we're growing. It's like we can still be he ha ha. We can still talk a little mess and do all that, gossip a little bit. You know how people do. But at the end of the day, we're still growing. We're still moving on up. We're still evolving. We're turning into different versions of ourselves. Even though we may not talk every single day, that's my ride or die. That's my sister. Okay. And the older you get, the more you realize this. Friendships that feel like home aren't always the loudest ones. They're not always the most visible. They're not always the ones you talk to every day. But they're steady. They're rooted. They grow with you. These are the friends who can go months without talking and still pick up right where you left off. Friends who don't guilt trip you for being busy or tired, overwhelmed, or human. The friends who understand that life be lifing. And love doesn't disappear just because the schedule gets too tight. Home friends hold your history. They've seen your phases. They've seen your mistakes, your glow ups, your breakdowns, your breakthroughs. They've watched you evolve, and they didn't leave when the version of you they first met started changing. That's rare. That's sacred. That's home. And I feel like a lot of people, when they're in friendships, they see this friend, they see their friend evolving, and now I think that they feel like, okay, well, you know what, they might not need me anymore. But the person who was evolving, they're like, okay, I still want you in my life. I want you to evolve with me. But sometimes that does not work out because a lot of people they don't evolve at the same time. They don't grow at the same time. I definitely have been shown that. Yeah, if you've been here since the beginning, you would know. You know, I'm talking about my episode of the Downside the Trail Friend Groups, season 1. You would know because if you heard that episode, yeah, when I was in the trio friend group, it didn't work out. It really didn't because there was always something, and there was always different levels of friendship. Like on one hand, these two were their bosom buddies. On the other hand, I'm over here left. I'm on the beach by myself. Then sometimes, oh hey, hey, Chris, how you doing? But it was never to amount like you see on TV. You know, with the friends and everything, with the trio friend groups, like with Raven, Eddie, and Chelsea, or Sam, Carly, and Freddie. It was never like that. It wasn't. But I do. When I look back at that part of my life, I always, at first, I feel sad because those are people I knew we was. I thought we was ride or dies, but we wasn't. But I look back at that part of my life. Sometimes I get sad, but then sometimes I'm grateful for the experience that I had with them. I'm grateful for the times I had with them, for some from the memories I've had with them. I'm grateful for those times and those memories because look, they were a part of my life for a period of time. But when the seasons start to change and you start to grow, sometimes those leaves on your tree they start turning brown and they die. And now you have to get new leaves because you're growing. You're growing to a different place. God is elevating you to a different place, to a higher standard or whatever. Whatever you may believe in, your God or whoever. I'm just saying in general, whoever is they're evolving you into a different place. You're growing. And let's be real, not every friendship stays home forever. Sometimes people outgrow each other, sometimes the energy shifts, sometimes the connections fade. And sometimes the friendship becomes a place you no longer feel safe in. And that's okay. You're allowed to outgrow the rooms you once felt comfortable in. You're allowed to leave friendships that no longer feel like home. You're allowed to protect your peace because home should never hurt. Friendships that feel like home remind you that you don't have to do life alone. They remind you that community is not a luxury, it's a necessity. They remind you that you deserve softness, you deserve support, you deserve people who are with you, who continue to lift you up. You deserve people who choose you on purpose. And when you find those people, hold them close, honor them, grow with them, because friendships like that don't come around very often. And when I say that, you need to hold on to those friendships. The ones who are able, y'all can sit there and disagree, but the love is still there. It's not to a point where now we're not friends anymore because you disagree with me. Now I'm running to Facebook or I'm running to TikTok and we bashing each other out on social media. No. Get you a friend that you can There's sometimes you could argue with, you could disagree with, but it's never to a point where the friendship ends and you aren't. And now, look at y'all. The friendship dissolved. Now you're broken hearted. He's broken hearted. She's broken hearted. Everybody's broken hearted because now y'all are both. Y'all done sat there and ended the friendship over a disagreement. Get you a friend that you can sit there and laugh with, but also cry with. You can agree with, but also disagree with. That you can sit there and love. Then sometimes y'all down like, I can't stand you. But in that same breath, about like 2 minutes later, Chad, what you finna do? You finna go out to eat? Well, okay, but where we going? Boom, bam. Like, you're together. Y'all are still together. Get you a friend like that. Get you a friend that is going to encourage you, that's going to uplift you, that's going to inspire you. Get you a friend that you will do the same thing to them. You will encourage and you will inspire them. You will uplift them. Get you a friend like that. Friendships that feel like home are the ones that make life gentle. They make healing easier. They make the journey less heavy. If you have people like that in your life, tell them. If you're still searching, don't settle. If you lost something along the way, trust me, new ones will come. Because home isn't a place, it's a feeling. And the right friendships will bring you back to yourself.